Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back to yet another Trader Joe's taste test. If you've missed my other Trader Joe's taste tests, you should check out the playlist where I taste things that come from Trader Joe's, the place that has really great value and interesting products and generally very good quality. Today, I'm going to be tasting their soup dumplings. These have been around for a while. You can find them in the frozen food sections. I've been sleeping on this one because I've never tried them, and I saw a big display of them at my local TJ's, and so I picked one of each flavor. Apparently 6 months ago or so there was a recall because there might have been plastic marker bits in the dumplings. Well, I guess the recall is over because they had a lot of them to try. So I got one of each flavor. This one is the steamed pork and ginger dumpling right here. And I don't know about you, but I am a very visually oriented person. So the first thing I notice is this box is purple and they're all color coded, which I appreciate because oftentimes when I go shopping, I just grab for the color. Might be not such a great thing, but I love it. It's easy recognition. So this is the pork one. This is the vegetarian one. This is the vegetable one, green box. And lastly, I got the chicken one, which is in this kind of burgundy box. Now, soup dumplings, if you've never had one before, also called bao, have soup inside them. So they're a dumpling encased that are steamed, and when you bite into them, you get a nice injection of soup inside, along with the generally meaty filling. So the process of making them is quite clever. Gelatin is added to the soup, so it's in a gel form. So when you shape the dumplings with the filling, it's in a solid state. But as they're cooking and steaming, the gelatin melts, releasing the soup, and then hopefully your skin will encase and hold in that juice so that when you eat them, you get a little poof of juice inside them. So absolutely fantastic, just a wonderful experience and quite tasty as well. I've never had a vegetarian version, so I'm curious about that, nor have I actually had a chicken one. I've only had pork. So curious to see how these are. Since I have 3 flavors, I thought I would pair them in different ways. The box says that you can microwave them, which I always find a bit suspect. They also said that you can steam them. Don't crowd and cover for 8 to 10 minutes. Of course, cooking them in the microwave is much faster, 1 to 2 minutes. So I'm going to try 3 different techniques since I have 3 different dumplings. So one of them I'm going to steam conventionally for 8 to 10 minutes on the stove. Another one I'm going to test out a TikTok hack which incorporates soup, additional soup to the soup dumplings, which I find a bit odd, but you cook it in the microwave and you can make a meal in 5 minutes. And the other I'm going to make just as per the microwave instructions, which says dumplings in 1.5 to 2 minutes, just steamed in the plastic bag. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. So, since the pork and ginger one I think is going to taste the most traditional, at least to what I've experienced, I'm going to cook these in the traditional steamed way. So, I've got a bit of a makeshift steamer here, a small pot with a strainer that I'm going to set on top. And I do have a large steamer, but this is a small batch, so I don't need too much. Let my water come up to the boil. So, let's open the pork and ginger soup dumplings. See what these look like. All right, so you get 6 of them for $3.49. Not too bad. That's what they look like unboxed. So I'm going to arrange them in my colander here. And already my water has come up to the boil. Doink. And we're going to steam these for about 9 minutes. I'm going to place these right on top, cover them, and reduce the heat just a little bit. And we don't want those to go dry, so make sure it's not too hot. Let's taste the vegetable ones because honestly, I think these are probably going to be the weakest in flavor because I associate meat with dumplings, but I have been surprised before. But let's use the vegetable dumplings to test out the TikTok hack. We're going to need a few items. So we're basically making a wonton soup, basically, which is a little confounding to me because these are soup dumplings and they contain soup. But we're going to put the soup dumplings in soup, which seems a little meta, but it's supposed to be delicious. We shall see. This, I believe, was credited to Aaron O'Brien on TikTok. So, let's see, Aaron. We're going to take a bowl and take our dumplings. Those are the veggie ones. Those ones are nestled nicely in there. Place them in the bowl. Finally, chop some green onions. Don't think this is necessary, but I think it'll look pretty and add some nice flavor. So that's it for the prep, really. We're gonna add some chicken broth to this, but in my case, I am going to use water along with this chicken broth powder. Love this stuff, use it all the time. I'm going to use about that much right in there. Instant chicken broth. I'm gonna give that a little swizzle, highly technical term. And if it's not salty enough, I can add more. Okay, now we're supposed to microwave this for 5 minutes, just like this. Okay, here we go. 5 minutes. And then to zhuzh it up, we have some chili crisp and some soy sauce. This is S&B umami crunchy garlic. This is not spicy at all. I like it, just not spicy. So if you're looking for a spicy chili crisp, this is not the one. But it's garlicky and has a great texture. Alrighty, so I'll be back in a few minutes when all these things are cooked. So, microwave just beeped. Let's grab our soup dumplings. They don't look that different, except very steamy. Next, we're gonna add a splash of soy sauce. Did you know that you can put your finger over this end to control the flow so it doesn't come out too fast? Yeah. Little chili crisp. Dig to the bottom and get the good stuff. Add that on top. And then green onions. Boom. Doesn't look too bad. Certainly hot. Alrighty, let's talk a little bit about chopsticks. I'm gonna opt to use these little disposable chopsticks because the tips are more blunt. These chopsticks are more pointy, and I feel like it's more likely that I'm going to poke and ruin the structural integrity of the skin of my dumplings. So this is the vegetarian one. I'm going to pick up this one. So look, first off, pretty plump. It's gonna be difficult for me to tell how juicy it is because it's already soaking in juice, but I'm just gonna take a bite. Alrighty, my first Trader Joe's vegetarian soup dumpling. Itadakimasu. It's got more texture than I expected for a vegetarian dumpling. I taste ginger. It's got some green and orange in it, which I'm assuming are carrots, and maybe green onion or cabbage. How's the skin? Mushy. Mushy skin, but it has been soaking in the soup. And the filling's all right. Very gingery, but not bad. How is it in the soup? Let's see the soup. The soup's not bad, especially with the green onions. Now let's try the soup dumpling and the soup together. Here we go. Pretty good. I mean, gingery. It's got a little tiny bit of chili heat from the chili oil. Love the fresh green onions. You get the kind of wonton soup flavor from the chicken soup base. It's hot, but what I don't care for, I think, is the kind of mushy texture of the soup dumplings. The bottom half, the part that was in the soup, is kind of really squishy and melty, and there's not a lot of structure to it. What I do have to say, though, is that you kind of lose the beauty of the soup dumpling aspect of this because it's swimming in soup. So you don't get that kind of burst of soup that is supposed to be inside the dumpling in this experience because you've got more soup floating around it. But for a quick, easy meal that's tasty and hot, which is good. And I definitely recommend that chicken broth base. I find it super, super handy. And you don't have to have an open carton of chicken broth kind of sitting in your refrigerator for who knows how long. You can just make as much chicken broth as you need. So there you have it. I like this because it makes it feel more like a meal. Kind of rounds things out instead of just having some dumplings or an appetizer. Know what I mean? Like that. And it's served in a bowl, so the presentation's nice. Alrighty, let's try these steamed pork ones. So here are the steamed pork ones, right there. Now this is the traditional method of cooking soup dumplings, steaming them. So I will pick one up gently, and that's what it looks like up close, steaming hot. And it looks like it's got some soup in there. It's not leaking, which I appreciate. And I'm going to put some chili crisp oil on it. Like that. And I'm just going to taste, oh, I hope I don't regret this. I'm gonna take a bite of this because this is a little bit too big for one bite for me. But doesn't that look delectable? Alrighty, here we go. Itadakimasu. Mmm. Mm-hmm. And that had soup in it. Totally. So I like the flavor, definitely porky, and I definitely taste the ginger in there. It's a little doughy and kind of starchy in the middle, but the skin has good structural integrity. It's not leaking. And it contains soup, so it's successful on that note. The chili oil is very nice on there. It gives it a little spice to contrast with the soup. If you can manage it, I like doing it all in one bite because then you get this kind of gush of soup in your mouth, which is very flavorful and porky, even a little bit sweet. And eating it this way, I feel like you can really appreciate the difference between this and just a regular dumpling or gyoza. Because of the soupiness inside. When you have it in a soup, you don't really get to appreciate that because it's really difficult to differentiate where the liquid is coming from. Know what I mean? Ooh, I'm gonna pour the chili oil inside. Pretty good. I like the flavor of the filling quite a lot. Another thing I noticed, though, it has a bit of a kind of granular texture to it. It's kind of crumbly inside along with the soup. Alrighty, Trader Joe's, pretty good so far. Next, we're gonna try the last flavor, which is the chicken dumplings. And I'm just gonna cook these as per microwave directions, which says just cut one corner of the bag and then microwave for 145 to 2 minutes and let sit 1 minute before removing from the bag. Okay, that seems like the fastest version of all of these. So same as the others, cut the corner, and I will give these 1 minute and 45 seconds. Okay, be right back. So let's grab our chicken soup dumplings out. So in terms of convenience, this is the fastest method, microwaving. But in the future, I would definitely choose either steaming or making the soup method because I'm not a fan of cooking in plastic. But I know sometimes we need to save a couple extra minutes. And I'm curious to see how these turn out steaming in the bag like this. So these are hot. Ooh, they look pretty good. Look at that. That looks really well steamed. Alrighty, this is the chicken soup dumpling, and let's try it without the chili crisp and see how it's like by itself. Alrighty, itadakimasu. So hot. So hot. Pretty good, very tasty and flavorful, but I don't taste the ginger in this one. But this one's not labeled as ginger. This one is just the chicken. And it's soupy, which I appreciate. Chickeny, flavorful. It's kind of like chicken broth, a little bit sweet. But I like the pork one better. I like the ginger in the pork. Let's try this one with the chili crisp. Alrighty, here we go. So hot. A definite improvement with the chili crisp. The chili crisp adds some crunchiness and of course a little bit of chili flavor, but this chili crisp adds some garlic, which I like. Definitely like the pork one the best. The chicken one's not bad. It's just not as complex in terms of flavor. It tastes chickeny and soupy and kind of noticeably sweet, but soupy inside, which I like. Let's see. There's the filling and there's a soup in there. Kind of like a chicken meatball. Nothing special, but nothing terrible. Know what I mean? So, winner for me, definitely of the three, would be the pork and ginger. That one has the best flavor. And in terms of preparation, I would choose the steaming method with some chili crisp and some additional scallions if you want some nice freshness to it as well. Definitely like the chili oil addition for the heat and for that little bit of texture. The soup method isn't bad either. You could do it with any dumpling though, to be honest. But I like the idea of filling out a meal with a little bit of soup and making it feel more like a sit-down meal than just like a little tasty app or something. The vegetarian flavor I think was the weakest. The texture was a little mushy and the flavor wasn't nearly as good, but to be honest, that's usually the case. So there you have it, my thoughts on the Trader Joe's soup dumplings. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! I feel like I have dumpling all in my mouth. I probably do. Oh, I'm kind of sweaty.